What's up, guys? Welcome back to TBN Off-Road. Today you're going to see an introductory video of Corey and his 2004 LJ. As part of starting the channel, we wanted to introduce ourselves and our Jeeps. So let's check it out.
Hey, I'm Corey. Just trying to introduce myself. This is my 2004 LJ. Bought it back in 2020 or early 21 from a guy in South Carolina. We've been modifying it ever since. Be honest with you, most of the stuff we replaced was because it was already bent and mangled, but we kept it primarily the same. In the rebuild we did, we changed out the bumper. I believe that's the Moto-Built bumper with the short stinger on it. Went into a Smitty-Built winch because I've had some good luck with all the Smitty-Built stuff. Moto-Built front fender. And then we got the JCR's rock slides we put on it. And it has a rough country, I think it was a 3.5 inch lift with a 1.5 inch or 1.25 inch body lift. So it's got the flat tummy underneath of it. And we've replaced the long arms on it twice. And the second go around, we actually bought some tube stiffeners. I'm trying to remember what company made those. But we bought those and welded them on. And that's helped a lot. Those long arms kept on getting bent up every time we went out wheeling. Had anti-rocks front and rear put on it. Switched over to the Cooper tires. And I gotta say, the 1 inch of extra width is nice. But the Cooper tires have not treated me poorly at all. They seem to bite on everything. Oh.
What are rims? Those are XDs.
KMCs.
Yeah, KMCs.
KMCs, beadlocks.
What are those, the machetes?
Yep, machetes. With the beautiful drains.
I wish I had those.
As you can tell, everything's still dirty. It's been in a barn and it got dirty from wheeling. We haven't cleaned it yet, or I haven't. Still have a little gas tube to fix up there, so that's why that's sticking out.
Yeah, we moved the gas tank and that filler neck didn't line up, so we got a flex hose for that.
Went to the Alien tank, which I can't wait to be able to actually use this out on the trail. It's a lot higher, not a ton higher, but it is higher and it's further back, so it's out of the way. So I can do almost an 8-inch stretch on this thing if I wanted to. So like I said, it's really for future builds. I'm ready to go do that anytime. We put the tailgate drop down on it. So I found that useful. Actually, I always recommend that.
Go ahead and drop that down. Let's show them what's inside.
Full.
So organized.
Yeah, got a Smitty-Built box. My Smitty-Built box has always been overloaded from day one. And it's still overloaded. But I had to add these extra clamps just because I got tired of bending the handle back. But it actually, with a big box in it, it's still really good. So it's got a full Pittsburgh set there. And it's weighted down. And this is actually kind of light for what it normally holds. I've normally got it absolutely jam-packed. But it's held up well. I've always enjoyed having the extra storage capabilities to be able to lock it up if need to be.
Pop your soft top back there, that window, and let's show them what's on top. Corey is very good at organizing, and by organizing, I mean slamming as many things into a unorganized area as he possibly can.
So I'm ready to go for the trails right now. I got my tube doors sitting up here ready to roll. Right here's the spare strapped down. Tree saver, my lunch box is just always tucked in the side. I've got a little extra auxiliary tank there. It is not plumbed in. It just snaps into another fitting up front, so I get the extra volume if needed. And I've got my, your chairs and your spare soft top, your emergency top if you need it. I always need an emergency top.
Which corners are these? Are these Moto-Built?
Moto-Builts.
Yeah,
yep.
Those look good. And you guys can see he's kissed these fenders off of trees and rocks and everything else. They've scuffed up the paint a little bit, but they are solid. Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about the greatest thing in the rear end that we just installed. That big, beautiful semi-float 60 sitting under there.
Well, I haven't got to play with it yet. So.
Yeah, we still have to break the gears in on that. You guys probably, this might come out before that install video, but we just swapped that axle out. And we actually measured, Dynatrack says they've got the best in class clearance. And that pumpkin is the exact same clearance we had on 37s as his Dana 44 did. So kudos to Dynatrack for designing something that amazing. Is it an OEM soft top, or did you go aftermarket? I can't remember.
No, that's OEM.
Yeah.
OEM best top. But it's still the same size, so it's not a fastback or anything. Added the Gen Right roll cage inside.
Go ahead and open that door and let's show them that.
Well, this is the full side. It's all dirty in here.
Like I said, you like
All the
to
stuff's
organize. This gets somewhat more organized when he wheels.
Well, yeah, in case you have to pick somebody up. Corbeau seats, absolutely love them.
Would you change anything about those seats?
Yeah, if they can come air conditioned. As far as wrapping your body, they do hold you in there nicely so you bounce around, and it's just nice enough. There is a Sunrider top on this, so if I do drop the top totally, I still have some protection. This is all recovery gear. That should be back there in that big box, but we had it out for working on it.
So the color scheme of the roll cage is kind of accidentally okay. When we were installing this, like most things, we were in a hurry trying to get to a trail, and we managed to primer it and slapped it in. And when we bolted it in, I looked at Corey and said, you realize we're never pulling this back out again. And what was that, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
It stayed. So the green and the tan actually works pretty good, and the primer's held up well. So that was an accidental win. You what'd you do? You bullet lined the bumper and the skids?
The bumpers
and
and
sliders?
the skids. And if you get real close, the first trail out, or not the first trail, it was the second time out, I did hook it on a rock and it locked in and it peeled it right back off again.
Yeah, we noticed the bullet liner itself holds up pretty well, but if you get any kind of crack or peeling on it, the second you catch that on a rock, it just peels everything back off. So I don't know, would you do that again, or would you just powder them? You would?
Bullet liner said they can come back and actually patch any tears or rips like that. The rear bumper and the front, I used to hit on a lot of stuff. The rear bumper, we actually even shortened, cut off the frame horns. We sucked the bumper in about 5 inches, and then I welded tabs onto the frame just like it was before, and then rebolted it on. And then we drilled holes for the body mounts, so the bumper became the mount for the tub.
Yeah, moto-built bumper, that's also held up really well. You can kind of see what we're talking about the bullet lining there, because that area obviously takes a decent amount of impacts, but the bumper itself has held up really well.
Yeah, so in doing that, I shortened it up, and I really was looking for a departure angle assistance, and that really gave it to me. Going out of Moab, it helped a lot.
Yeah, he used to catch that on a ton of stuff, and we've got another surprise and another video for my Jeep to do something similar. Everybody asks about these things. What are these?
Limb risers.
Limb risers. We wheel on the East Coast, Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee. All the trails are overgrown, and it just keeps limbs off your windshield. It's so nice.
And I actually really, really like them. People always say, are they worth it? And I do love them, just because, like you said, we're cruising through some of these trails that are overgrown, and the limbs hit them, they just slide right up, and they go right across the roll cage.
I can't remember why, but we did switch the hood to those quick pin disconnects. I think, well, the hood's actually shaved because these are Highline fenders. So I think we lost the hinges when we did that, didn't we?
No, the hinge was in there, but it wasn't operating well, so we shortened it up and went with the quick pin disconnects. Hit it in here. You can see I chopped out the factory box, shortened it, just put a filter on it, and then I got my Premier welder hidden in here, along with all the wiring that never got shortened yet. I just kind of wound it up and shoved it in there.
You've seen from other videos, speed has always been #1 around here at TBN, so everything goes unfinished. Just don't get it perfect, just get it running, as Freiberger would say.
Got my ARB dual compressor sitting there. Haven't had any problems with it where it's mounted. My PSC, as you can see, it blew out some oil when we were on the trail in Moab.
Yeah, we don't have a cooler on this one yet. We probably need to get one on there. It gets a little warm.
Got a little warm, and then the line, the air line itself, actually got some oil in it. So when I disengage the front locker, it would blow out oil up here in the front solenoids.
Yeah, you can kind of see there. I think we might have had the differential a little overfilled, and it every time he disconnected the locker, it just blew oil out down here. So all that's getting taken care of this off season. Trying to think if we missed anything. You've obviously got the high lift mounted up there. I quit carrying one because he carries one on his hood, and I don't really have anywhere to put mine. So that's a nice. Thanks for carrying my stuff, Corey.
Always.
He's also got a Switch. What is this? A Switch Pros? Boss Switch. That's what it is.
Boss, yeah.
Is that an Amazon knockoff? I can't remember.
Yep.
We installed that a few years ago. That's worked out pretty well for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it hasn't been bad at all. When the power starts, when the volts start to drop off, for whatever reason, that Voss sits there and flashes, and it seems to drain the battery even more. But yeah, I haven't minded the switch. It works well, especially when you label your lockers correctly.
Yeah, gosh, one trip every time we're like, you're not locked, and he's turning the wrong locker on because we put the stickers on wrong.
I'm just showing off the Premier welder. It's actually a wonderful little unit. We have yet to actually truly play with it or need it out in the field. But you got your normal plug-in, and then the welder ports, which you also can use as jump ports. But I've got it where the location was. The support bar went right across the top of it here. So I just made that a quick pin, like a thumb screw off, and it works great. So everything's nice, tidied away. Like I said, everything needs a bath, but.
So 37s, Pro Rock 44 front, Semi Float 60, Pro Rock in the rear. Was a what do you got? 538s?
538s.
538s. He's still got the stock 4-liter, and ARB lockers front and rear. And guys, this Jeep just goes. It's just an example that it doesn't have to be $200,000 and 43 stickies and a 4-door to go where you want to go. It's been fun to watch him wheel this, and automatic.
Yes.
He has the TJ you guys might see on the channel later is a manual. So Corey actually learned how to wheel with us driving a manual, but after his left foot started complaining a little bit, he switched to an automatic. So
it really wasn't me. It was more of them complaining about my driving style in a manual. It'd get a little hoppy.
Well, those who have wheeled TJs knows how bucky and jumpy they get. So yeah, dumping the clutch onto that, and it gets real exciting. Makes good content though.
Like I said, the Jeep, when I bought it, it had a lot of these things on it. We changed just a little bit. The rear spring, metal cloak springs. So it's got a rough country lift, which most people roll their eyes at, but it's actually held up really well. And like I said, except for that long arm, which we fixed with a sleeve option that welded on.
Yeah, $30 sleeve if that.
Yeah, and it held up all through Moab and another trip so far. So I can't wait to bang on a little bit more and see what it does. But
aren't these radius arms in the front?
yes.
Yeah.
Radius arms with the other side, if you look, has the lock and load on it.
So you can, it's the other side, I believe. So there's the front
That's the
driver
front
radius. And
so like I said, it's got a rough country lift, but with that lock and load, you can undo that spring and it allows a lot more flex out of it.
yeah, it has, what we measured the front after we swapped the axle, it was 36 inches of flex up front. So that's why I keep giving him a hard time about the rough country lift, but it just works. And he's got a ton of articulation with it. So it's not broke, don't fix it.
This is a 3.5 inch lift on the front right now. And we just put in the 4.5 inch springs on the rear just to level it off. Because as you guys can see, I carry a lot of junk with me on the trail. I'm like a little repair shop as we're rolling down the road. So when people need something, they normally come over to my Jeep just to see what I have. I normally have a bag of bolts in the back too, and it's out of the, but yeah, I just got a little bit of everything in here. So
I think one thing that we'd love to find a different solution to, and if you guys have any ideas, actually it's hard to see with the tires, the way this front steering is set up, there's just one through bolt through everything, and that bolt, gosh, multiple times a day it seems like likes to loosen up, and Corey's steering wheel will go 45 degrees either way, and he's like, man, this thing's real twitchy. Oh yeah, we got to tighten the bolt up. So what else would you change on it if you were gonna do something else? Obviously everyone wants tons and 40s and bigger everything, but
really, if I was gonna change anything, I'd go ahead and go into a stretch, just probably a 5-6 inch stretch on it, and move it back a little bit.
would you stay 37s or would you do that and go bigger?
No, I could go 40s. I don't think it would have a problem. I think we still got enough room. If we did that, I know I'd have to move the front axle forward. So that would be my sticking point with going to 40s. These tires, with they're stuffed, they are rubbing already inside the fender well. So going to 40s, you know, that next step would require a little bit of a stretch in the front. So
more wheelbase never hurt anybody. So I think that's about it, guys. 04 LJ. She's fun. Let us know what you guys think.